What if you stop washing your hair for a year? Washing our hair regularly is the basic hygiene tip we all know from childhood. But have you ever wondered what would happen if you stopped this lifelong ritual? Obviously, there aren't that many people who are willing to test it on themselves. But thankfully, experts already have an idea of how your hair would react to this bold experiment. Want to know all the details? Then keep watching. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join us on the bright side. Okay, so let's say you decided that enough is enough and you can no longer spend hours every day trying to make your hair look bomb. From now on, no more shampoos, conditioners, or any other hair products. So what's gonna happen next? Well, the first couple of days of your experiment would introduce you to an all-natural hair moisturizer known as sebum. As you let your scalp deal with everything on its own, your hair follicles would start producing more sebum just to make sure that your hair is properly hydrated. As a result, your hair would become greasy and oily. If you have straight hair, you can expect this effect in less than 5 days. But if you're one of those lucky ones who have gorgeous curls, it can take up to 10 days for you to see serious dirt and oil build up in your hair. However, according to Dr. Angela Lamb, an experienced and board-certified dermatologist, several weeks of not washing your hair can lead to a complete hair breakthrough. Believe it or not, there's a chance that from a greasy and not-so-pleasant-looking scalp, your hair would turn into healthy and shiny strands. Of course, everything depends on your hair type and your scalp's condition. But in general, if after a month of this no shampoo policy, your hair still looks like an oily mess, it's very unlikely that this magical transformation would actually happen. After a little over a month without shampoo, you'd have to face another problem, the stench. People who get to this stage of no hair washing usually say that it's kind of like a strong sour milk odor that follows you everywhere you go. The thing is, at this point of the experiment, your hair starts to trap moisture. You know what loves moisture? Bacteria. And these little nasty buggers would give your scalp a, let's say, unforgettable scent. Additionally, you might notice a higher influence of pollution on your unwashed hair and scalp. Stylist Susanna Roman confirms this too, saying that it's actually our skin and hair that gets exposed to pollution the most. So dust, smoke, and any other pollutants you can think of would feel completely at home in your already greasy and oily hair. All this would lead to itching, irritation, and major discomfort. But if you think that's the worst it can get, think again. Several months of no hair washing can result in not only a nasty, stinky look, but also occasional pain, especially if you wear your dirty hair in a bun. You see, tight ponytails or buns pull on your scalp, which irritates the nerve endings around your hair follicles. Plus, oily hair is way heavier than frequently washed strands, which adds even more pressure on those nerve endings. So the outcome is always the same, an itchy, sore scalp and even frequent headaches. And as you'd come closer to the 6th or 8th month mark of the experiment, another problem would arise: ingrown hairs. And as always, it's all thanks to oil and dirt buildup in your hair. Nonetheless, it's not the only issue that can come up after 8 months of your new shampoo-free lifestyle. What's even scarier is that your hair can easily stop growing completely from all the damage that dirt, oil, and pollutants have done to it. Nevertheless, this is all still pretty tolerable until you enter the 11th or 12th month of quitting shampoo. Of course, each case is different, but experts still suggest that a year without rinsing your hair with water, or at least using conditioner from time to time, traps bacteria in the hair follicles and causes an infection known as folliculitis. Another possible surprise towards the end of the experiment is a severe case of dandruff. In some cases, all of these processes can start way earlier. So, as you can see, throwing your shampoo out the window isn't that great of a decision after all. Or is it? All kinds of people, including Take That singer Gary Barlow, who, by the way, claims to have not washed his hair for 14 whole years, say that going no shampoo dramatically changed their hair for the better and made it way healthier. Author and journalist Susan Elkin talked about her own experience with quitting shampoo for 5 years. According to her, during the first stages, as your hair is adjusting, you should be patient and help your hair by brushing it often. Brushing distributes the oil along your hair follicles and removes all the dirt and dust. Another tip that she stands by is rinsing your hair with warm water while massaging the scalp about twice a week. It helps to keep the scalp clean and get rid of oil buildup more effectively. Needless to say, Susan Elkin isn't the only fan of removing shampoo from her daily hair care routine. In fact, there's a whole movement called No Poo that encourages people to stop using shampoos for good. And the reasoning behind it is completely logical. The strong chemicals that most shampoos contain are known to strip our hair of its natural oil, which actually damages it. That's why No Poo adherents suggest washing your hair with more natural products like baking soda, apple cider vinegar, or just plain water. Baking soda, for example, is extremely effective at removing dirt, dust, and oil buildup from your hair, leaving it shiny and clean. If you want to try this method, dissolve 1 tablespoon of baking soda in a cup of water until the gritty texture disappears. Then, simply apply it to your hair and gently massage your scalp. Don't worry if you don't see any foam. Baking soda doesn't really lather. So don't focus on that and just wash your hair as you would with your regular shampoo. After that's done, simply rinse your hair with water and you're good. The only downside of this natural method is that baking soda can dry out your scalp, especially if your hair isn't naturally oily. And that's the part where apple cider vinegar comes in handy. As a natural moisturizer, it's a perfect natural conditioner for anybody who has dry hair and scalp. The best way to use it is after washing with baking soda. Just pour a mix of apple cider vinegar and water through your hair and rinse it with water 1 more time. However, all these products aren't that necessary. Simple water can do the trick as well. This method is more preferable for people with a normal scalp. No Poo followers suggest giving it a month to see whether your hair will adjust to this new cleaning technique. What you have to do is rinse your hair with warm water and massage your scalp exactly like you would with shampoo. This will get all the oil out of your hair. No Poo adherents say that you shouldn't stop the experiment if it didn't work the first couple of times. Your hair is still figuring out this new method and needs some time to get used to it. According to No Poo proponents, the first week of going without shampoo is the toughest, but it does get easier with time. And the final thing you'll need if you're planning on joining the No Poo team is a good boar bristle brush. Remember Susan Elkin's advice about brushing your hair often to distribute the oil along its follicles? That's exactly it. Boar bristle brushes are the best for this job because they have a similar texture to human hair. Running such a brush through your hair has tons of benefits, from providing great help in styling to reducing those annoying split ends. Not bad for not properly washing your hair for a couple of days, right? So maybe this brave experiment is worth a try after all. But what about you? Would you like to give this no shampoo challenge a go? Let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.